So yeah, sometimes, quite often in my experience, when God uses you, when God gives you this prophecy, because sometimes it can be what you want to hear, and when that happens, you got to really question: is that like? Because I know that we are the divine, right? The Spirit is in us, however you want to put it. We are made in the image of God. We are the divine, right? But obviously, there are higher powers, however you want to call it. What was I say? Yeah. Oh, that's right. If you have these prophecies, or you have this real peace and tranquility, and you think you're hearing from God, but it lines up with what you want, it doesn't mean it's not of God. It just means you've got to double check that it's not your um, own desires speaking, right? You know what I mean? And you got to really, delve into it and, you know, pray or meditate or whatever it is you do to get that clear affirmation that it actually is God. Or sometimes, for me, it's like if I go into it and I go into it and I carry on with my life and there's no correction, should I say? There's no correction. Then for me, it's like, well, there hasn't been any correction, like signs or synchronicities or um, conviction of the heart or anything like this. And the desires haven't gone anywhere. So unless these things happen, if these things happen, I would bring it into question and then carry on with my life, but bring it into question and get answers, right? Even ask people about it, people who can be trusted, reliable sources, all this type of thing, and get answers. And if it's clear, if it's clear, like then you lose the desires, and So I had these dreams that basically this interpretation of it is like, and it's been confirmed by God and all that my children are going to be much closer to their mother's side of the family. Um, the extended family influence on them is going to be around them, but I'm going to be taken in as one of theirs, and they're going to view me as one of theirs because basically of how things go with me and my partner to be, the partner I raised my family with. This has been confirmed from God many years ago. And I know that because I didn't want that to happen. I wanted them to be raised by my father's side of the family because I wanted them to pull any differences aside and, be able to have peace and harmony. But, no. And then I was prophesied by God to me that I'd bring the family together. Now, I remember a while ago watching Narcissist Chronicles because I still just look at the label and just carry on. That's the only confirmation I need. Maybe once a month or once every couple of months, I might watch one recording and it's about it. Apart from that, I just don't watch it at all. But I have a look at the titles, so you go watch that. And I bumped into some lookalikes too, but from there. But this thing is I know I'm not going to do anything. I mean, anything could happen, but if I was to do something, the life insurance thing, but also if I so-called one, I'd end up in jail, and so either ways it's a lose-lose situation, and I've got too much things to achieve in life. Like, I want to get to that six-figure income, and then just study each year to enlarge that payment in the same industry, right? I want to raise a family. Um, when my child is young, I want to finish my black belt with them. Like, I want to be with the adults whilst he's with the kids or she's with the kids doing the well, I've been taekwondo, but at the same time they might get into something else. So you might I just want them to have a black belt in something. So yeah, I got all these things to do, and the prophecy that God gave to me that has come true according to a recording us wages ago, that you know that I would bring the family together. But the thing is sometimes when God says that you're going to do something, it doesn't look like the way you thought it would, because you might have brought them together in a way that means that they're like a unified force, because of what you've said and done, right? And so now they've come together with a common enemy. But at the same time, see, the anti-smacking law came into play in 2012 here in New Zealand. So I was 24 years old, but I was a very obedient child. I would occasionally stand up for myself. I would stand up for myself. But what stopped me from getting, beatings was, I got a couple of them, but I was obedient, right, to survive. Or I was obedient. I was a very obedient child. So the reason why I'm thinking of breaking no contact once I become wealthy and I'm in that career of the, cybersecurity and that, is because I don't want my kids to suffer that same trauma. Now, we got to fix well, I don't know, because I've been saying this since I was a teenager about fixing the economy by living as a minimalist, but I've been here for 2.5 years, and look, I'm single, right? So obviously, if I want to have a woman in my life, raise my kids well, all this type of thing, I need a better place and all this type of thing, alright? But we will find a way to fix the economy for the future generations. But going no contact from our parents and all this type of thing is helpful in a way, but it's also detrimental in the fact that the kids aren't going to know their grandparents. But it's helpful in a way that we get healed. Because I was going to say that grandparents don't traumatize the kids, but I heard horror stories about my grandparents, and it was from all the siblings of my mother and father, but it was just every here and there, but it was true. And sometimes when someone says it every here and there, that's like because they don't want to go there because of how bad it was, or I don't know. But they never traumatized me because they were great to me. They were great to the grandkids. So that's another thing we've got to come through. And that's the thing is this, I don't want my children to suffer the trauma that I had of, like, we didn't have a family reunion for 12 years. That's why you wonder why I was going to each region, right? And then when we finally did have one, they decided to have one every 3 or 4 years. So yeah, my mother's side of the family, they used to pop over and visit us when they were in town, and we used to join them every Christmas time. So, and it used to be weekly. My grandparents